Nobody move.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm Nick G.
I'm Mike D.
And this is Good Cop, Bad Cop. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pop McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmccannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondcreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. All right, Mike D, welcome back. We got a new episode just by ourselves today.
New quarters.
New quarters.
I mean, we went from from the good cop, bad cop scene to this is your world.
Yeah, we have a pretty cool
the world
studio.
is yours. Wait,
the world is
yours. Yes, it's ours, yours.
Yours, it's everybody's.
Yeah, I think we have. I have a picture in front of this term at Capone's nightclub in
Chicago.
No, in it's a speakeasy in West Palm Beach downtown on Chlamydia. Clematis Street.
Get out of here. The street almost chlamydia.
Yeah, that's right.
I've had that one.
Yeah.
Take some penicillin.
Yeah.
It's just a little cold for your pecker.
Doxycycline, whatever.
Yeah, no big thing. Al Capone had syphilis.
Yeah.
Didn't he? And he retired to.
And it was on Chlamydia Street.
Yeah, it was on Chlamydia Street.
Clematis. It's called Clematis.
Syphilis Street.
Yes.
So, on a serious note, though, today we are going to talk about 9/11.
Yes.
Approaching that date, September 11th is just right around the block.
23rd anniversary, is it?
Yep.
I think it's 23, right? Yes, 23.
Yes, 23.
Yeah, 23rd year. So everybody always asks this question. I've always, you got to be honest. Where were you when the first plane hit?
I know where you are. You were stationary.
I was stationary within the confines. I was at FCI McKean in McKean, Pennsylvania.
McKean. So what prison was that?
So it's called McKean, Pennsylvania. It's on It's in Bradford. I guess we'd call the
Bradford County.
Bradford town or county. And
county, yeah.
McKean is the name of the prison.
Is it a?
Which, by the way, is my grandmother's maiden name.
McKean.
My great grandmother's maiden name is McKean.
See that? You're meant to go to that prison, Mike.
It was sort of like built after me.
So. You're in prison, so let's just go. I want to give you real quick. You're in prison because I find this fascinating. What the hell's going on when 9/11, when the first plane hits, and where are you at, and what are you doing?
So if you're familiar with prison, you'll understand this. If you're not familiar, I'll try to draw a picture. So when you walk into the unit, okay, so the prison's set up like a mousetrap. You have central. You have a highway that's a central highway. The central highway takes you to the chow hall, and everything branches off of that. So you can go to the chow hall or go to your unit. You can go to the chow hall or go to the other unit. But it's like everything has to go to the center.
What security level is this prison?
It's high security.
Is it maximum security?
High max, yeah. They go from medium to max within the same prison. But this prison specifically, they call them in the federal system a medium high.
Okay.
McKean. So everything generally goes to the center. So this particular day, I'm in my unit, and the unit is surrounded by, it's a common area in the middle, like any hall, and then outside the hall is all the cells, and it's 2 tiers of cells, and it's not like you would see on Shawshank Redemption with the bars. It's all closed indoors with a piece of glass. So they just remove the bars and put cement walls, and you would have the same effect. Right. I'm sitting in front of, in the common area, and there's 5 TVs. There's the Spanish TV, the MTV, the sports TV, the news TV, and the regular TV, like for whatever you want to watch.
Right.
So, but it was actually called the black TV because the MTV it wasn't even, I don't know if it was even MTV back then, but it was like rap music TV.
2001. There's MTV. Yeah, it's still MTV.
Yeah, I don't know, but
or VH1.
Okay. more to that effect. Yeah. So it was basically controlled like that, but the MTV or the black TV on Sundays was the race TV, where the rednecks get to watch the race TV,
NASCAR.
NASCAR,
Right.
correct. Okay, so you got the picture.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. So it's a rather large space. It's probably 100 by 100 in the middle. And I'm looking at the sports TV. And to the right is the news TV. And I guess there was a lot of gambling in prison, and I wasn't particularly big in gambling because I didn't have a lot of money to lose because I lost.
Right.
Every time I bet, I lost. So what am I going to do is keep donating? So, but I'm watching the sports TV, and of course it's 9/11, so it's baseball season, right? September.
Right.
And the Mets were pretty good that year.
Probably not. Okay.
But no, I think the Mets and the Phillies were going back and forth right around 2000.
Yeah, Phillies were good.
2001.
The Mets sucked. Worst
I
fans
think they won in 2000. They went to the finals
Worst
against
fans
the
ever.
Yankees. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know why we're the worst fans.
The worst fans. The Mets fans are
The
terrible.
Philly fans, they throw snowballs at baseball games.
Dude.
They throw
so
snowballs
old.
at baseball
No.
games.
No. It's snowballs at Santa Claus, but we'll get into that another day.
Right. So anyway,
Mets suck.
all of a sudden I
It's
hear.
okay.
Now, one thing you don't want to hear in prison is your name, ever. I hear Dowd. I go, fuck. What? You know, and I know it's a staff member.
Right.
Because you hear the door open, the sally port between us and them. It's a key. So you hear the door open and you hear the keychains because you hear everything. You hear the keychains on the guys, and there's 15, 20 guys out watching TV.
So hold on one second. Just want to set the stage so people just listening. You're a dirty cop. You're now in prison.
I'm in
You're
federal
arrested.
prison.
You're in federal prison.
Right.
Just so people are listening. So not only do you not want to hear your name called in prison,
Right.
you don't want to be a cop in prison
Right.
either.
Right.
And you're
correct.
both, right?
I'm
Yeah.
both. And I'm
Okay.
sitting there. And at this time, I got about, I would say, 8 or 9 years on because it's 2001. If you do the math, I'm off the top of my head, about 9 years or so. So I'm a veteran.
You're an old timer.
I'm a veteran inmate
Yeah.
now. You know, they can't abuse me like they would have when I was a kid.
Right.
Just coming in. Down. I go, what? He goes, put on the news. Now, the news TV doesn't have on the news right now because it's early. News people aren't up yet. But put on the news. I go, what's the matter? So I put on that back then, CNN, right? Because that was supposedly the
Yeah.
news, right? We put on CNN, and there you see this gaping hole in the tower. And so, people are mesmerized by looking at it. A couple starting to stir. The case manager screaming out, and Dow. His name was Mr. Wright. Nice guy, by the way. A lot of these guys were nice guys, by the way. His name was Wright, and a black guy named Wright, right? So he goes, put on the news. So he put it on, and sure enough, the hole in the tower. And then, of course, within 15, 20 minutes, we're all agape looking at what's wrong with this pilot? What happened to the plane?
Right.
No,
You're not thinking.
you're
it's
not
a
thinking
terrorist
terror.
attack yet. Just
and
thinking it's an accident.
thinking an accident.
Right.
I think Bush was on just before it because they were doing the interview at the school.
Yeah,
in
the school was
Florida
reading to the
or
kids.
some shit.
Yeah.
And then so now they're staying on the TV, and bang, the other plane hits, and I turned around and I go, this is an attack. We're under attack.
Yeah.
So I knew instantly. Of course, instantly I didn't know when the first thing was, but when you saw the next one come in, you knew it. This is an attack. It's purposeful. Now what? Here, don't forget, you have a lot of guys. There's 1,800 men in this prison.
Yeah. So what's everyone else's reaction?
1,800 men in this prison.
All people of all different backgrounds.
All different backgrounds. There was a lot of concern, fear. I think you got military guys in there. You got ex-law enforcement. You have regular street perps that they love their country.
Yeah.
A lot of them would die for their country. And not all of them, but some of them would. And then you have in there with the Muslim population in there. Many of them, where I was staying, were from Minnesota and the Michigan area. There's a
Right.
couple
Yeah.
of
There's a huge
strongholds.
population. Yep.
A couple of strongholds of that area that were in my prison.
Yeah. The one of the squad
And I
members.
hear Allah Akbar coming out of a couple of them. And we're all looking around like, what? No one wants to get crazy in
Yeah.
prison because there's consequences of fear. Anyway, after the second one hit, something serious is wrong. I can't be exact. I don't want to tell a fib, but within an hour or two, the whole prison's locked down.
Right. Yeah. I figured so.
Yeah, we're all in lockdown.
That's what they would have done.
And
How
now
long
we're
did that last for?
Yeah, now we're. I'll go out on a limb and say just for the day. Time gets away with me sometimes now at my old age. I'm 63. But one of the things that was happening is all of a sudden, so you could see through your glass, we see them taking out a couple of the Muslim guys.
Oh wow.
And what they did was they took out the Muslim guys the guys with the rolls, the mats, they pray. They took them out and put them in the hole. And from what I wasn't there, but what I'm told is every Muslim in the system was debriefed on what they knew. So
Yeah.
and you got to realize
smart.
what people don't realize is prison's a wealth of information because there's constant
Bad
communication.
guys talk to bad guys.
Constant communication in and out of prison, and it doesn't mean that they're running anything, but they have an awareness.
Right.
And it's a pool of awareness. You're talking 1,800 guys within a small space. You can't generally get that unless you have an office building in Manhattan, and they're on different tiers and different floors.
Right.
And here the information is exchanged constantly. So so it's a wealth of information, and so to that point,
Feel helpless, right?
you're helpless. And obviously being ex-law enforcement, I started to picture what my response should have been. So, and how it breaks down is some may be happy to hear this, others may be unhappy to hear it because I wasn't there. I would have been the first responding car from my precinct because when they do a citywide response, they send the closest vehicles, the closest response to the squad cars because you can't leave your precinct void, but you send people anyway. To a
emergency,
citywide emergency.
Yeah.
Like this Plan A, Plan B. I forget what they call them now. I would have been Plan A. I would have been the first car to respond from the 9-4, which where I was at the time, not in the 7-5, and part of it, the proximity to Manhattan. So my sector was the closest sector in my precinct to Manhattan. So I would have been on the Williamsburg Bridge, going right into the tower after the first hit, because it was obviously a COI calamity was taking place. And after the second hit, I would have been on scene. Because that's just the way I was. I might have been all the shakedown artist and all this stuff, but I still enjoyed the actual police work and helping people and to my own fault, sometimes putting myself in harm's way. And it would have been, I would have been dead. I would have been dead. So I guess I lucked out by being in prison. Right?
Yeah.
Others might say you should have been.
You're going to get a lot of hate mail for this one.
Yeah, you should have been there. But yeah, but the bottom line is this. It's the worst feeling in the world.
I'm sure. Being helpless, knowing that
Can't do anything about helping your people.
your life choices led you to where you are, and you had to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you still have that urge to want to go help. I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Martina White. Friends of Martina White can visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina's been doing as a state representative in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you, Mike, she's a big supporter of police. She backs the blue. She's a proven fighter for families, women, everybody.
Is she a patriot? Is she America first?
Absolutely. She encompasses, the American spirit for sure. We have a big population of listeners in Northeast Philadelphia, Southeast Pennsylvania, which would be her area. So you can check her out.
Has she been in? I'm not familiar with the Philly district. Is she new to the scene, or is she, looking for re-election?
She'll be up for re-election in a couple years, but she's been around for a while. She has a proven track record.
Okay.
You can check her out. Her record really speaks for itself, especially when it comes to fighting for everyday citizens and backing the blue.
It's nice to have someone back in the blue. I mean, these officers are out there risking their lives every day, and with little pay and little appreciation in today's environment, it's been very difficult. And as you know, being a Philadelphia guy,
Unfortunately, that's something that's not common. Should be. It used to be a time where both sides of the aisle agreed on law enforcement, and that's something that's completely lacking. But with Martina White, she steps up to the plate, always has our backs, and does what's right.
great. Good luck with Martina.
Yeah, you can get more information at votemartina.com. I'd like to thank our title sponsor of the show, Adams Renzi Law, AR Law. They can be found at arjusticenow.com. And just to let you know, I know both of them personally. Christy, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, total sweetheart, absolute pit bull in the courtroom. And Nick Renzi, he's a South Philadelphia guy, true and true, neighborhood man. He's for the people. He helps people out down in South Philly, all around Philadelphia.
Their offices in South Philly itself?
Yes, their office in right around South Philly, Center City, right on the border.
Do they handle
there.
a lot of criminal cases?
They handle everything, absolutely.
Are they on call 24/7 for someone who might take a pinch somewhere?
Why, you might be taking a pinch
I mean,
that
you never know. I mean, wherever you show up, you got to be ready.
Well, you can keep their card on you.
Well,
Go to their
well,
website and
good,
call them up.
Will they give me a deal since they're sponsors of the show?
You might get a percentage off. I'll have to talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
If you used them a few years ago, you might have not have gotten 14 years.
Well, that's another story.
Another story for another time.
That's right.
Again, AR Law, check them out. ARJusticeNow.com. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond.o. In today's world, your business is practically invisible if you're not online. With so many options for marketing your business, it's easy to get confused. That's where Beyond.o Creative steps in. They have the expertise to help you with all of your marketing needs. Need a website that wows visitors? They'll build it. Want to reach more customers with Google Ads? They'll make it happen. They'll even manage your social media so you can focus on what you do best. Beyond.o Creative is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and Google Premier Partner. They're the real deal. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com. That's BIONDOCREATIVE.com or call 267-362-WEB1, Web 1 to discuss your project now.
Yeah.
So I was,
Where were you?
normal day, I was sitting, I'm in Kensington Beach. You ever see the videos of it?
Yes.
You know, hell on earth.
Just recently, I saw
Yeah,
some.
oh yeah, it's all
Yesterday.
over the place. It's a terrible spot. That's where I worked. 2418 car. I was with Matt Berkheimer.
So
Nice
you were on
guy.
patrol.
Yeah, I was on patrol. In
How long
uniform.
were you on the job at this point?
2.5 years.
Oh, so you're a young guy.
Yeah, two years.
You're 22 years old.
21 and a half,
Yeah.
22. And we called him Box because he was shaped like a box, so that was his nickname. So Box wants to go to Wawa and get his coffee. He's a veteran officer. I was driving. He didn't want to drive. I said, okay. So I'm parked at Wawa, and this stew bum comes up to me. You hear the news? It's like 8:45 or when the first plane hit.
9 something.
9:03, whatever. So it's 9:15. Here it is. I'm like, just get away, man. You know, I'm hungover, tired, waiting for Box to come out of Wawa with my coffee. We're under attack. And he knew it was an attack. He goes, a plane hit the World Trade Center. I said, what? So I said, come here. What are you talking about? So then I kind of had an inkling of truth to what he was saying. It just wasn't a crazy
He wasn't
rambling.
a crazy drunk.
So I put on KYW, and I'm listening to it. I said, oh, shit. So I hit up Box. I believe we had Nextels. I'm like, yo, we got to go, dude. I drove back to headquarters, and by the time I walked in, I saw the first tower collapse, and I was sick because I thought I just watched 25,000 people die.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought there's 25,000 people.
And they
in that
should have
building.
been, by the way.
I was sick. And, we were all in there just our mouth open, like what the hell's going to go on? And then, cop mode kicks in, and then the second building fell, and now we knew this is an attack. And,
So you actually didn't see the second plane strike. You were out on patrol.
No. I watched the second plane strike.
Well, wait.
The
You
world
just-
stopped.
You said it collapsed. Well, let's
Yeah,
get it.
sorry.
Let's be clear. You walked into the station.
In the operations room, we're all watching.
Okay.
As soon as I walk in, the first one collapses. And we're all watching. We're wondering if it's an attack, if it's an accident. And then we see the second one hit. And that's when we knew,
Okay,
again,
people are going to fact check you on this.
we're
okay?
under attack.
Both planes were hit the buildings before the one collapsed.
Okay, is that what it was?
Yes, you're a little
Okay.
confused, I think, right now. So if you see the building come down, you didn't see the second
Yes.
plane
All
hit.
right, so that's it's been a long time.
Yeah, but you may have seen dozens of images of these planes hitting.
Right. So that's what it was.
Okay.
So we know it's an attack. Then
Right.
then we watch the building go down.
Right.
Then cop mode kicks in.
Yeah. Now what?
We go gas up every car in the fleet because we don't know if there's
You're going.
a ground invasion incoming.
Right.
If Philly,
Yeah.
I'm in Philly. If downtown's going to be attacked,
Sure.
so we don't know. What's going to go on. Resources are going to be scarce. We don't know. You're trying to call your loved ones. Cell phones were very primitive. Couldn't get through on a cell phone at all.
Yeah.
And at that time, we had Timony was our police commissioner.
He was an NYPD guy.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I don't care either.
Scumbag.
I don't know him.
Scumbag
I heard he was
politician.
pretty good to some
yeah,
guys.
yeah, he's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the cop's cop. He was a politician,
Okay.
bullshit artist.
All right.
He left New York, like a scorned ex-lover, and we went on patrol that day. Nothing besides, the attack in America went on. Pretty much it was pretty peaceful that day. Nothing really went on crime-wise. I think all of America was kind of gripped with
Shocked.
what was going
No
on.
one was even robbing no one.
Right. Yeah, it was a very slow day. Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
Nothing.
crime.
Yeah.
Stop crime.
Stop crime.
And he came down with an order that if any cop is found up in New York, you will be terminated and fired immediately. So we all gave him the double barrel, fuck you. And a couple of days later, about 12 of us went up there on our own, knowing that, we'll be fired if we're caught up here.
Right.
And my buddy owned a clothing shop. He made shirts, and we had Philly PD, and we had our badges around our neck. And it was just surreal driving up the turnpike, and you could just see smoke billowing from miles. And it was just an eerie. It was like watching a, one of these movies,
like
post-apocalyptic.
Godzilla takes on.
It's just so as we get. I don't know the roads up in New York. As we get closer to Ground Zero, it's just, and this is 3 days later, miles of workers in tents on the side of the road, and guys like, what size shoe are you? And they're throwing brand new Timberlands in the truck. You're going to need water. Here goes gas mask. Here goes clothes. You need a belt. Here goes a belt. I mean, we had, I could have went on a runway fashion model. Amazing, the amount of help. So we get up to New York. I believe I get to the first precinct. We get funneled. We're trying to get down there. The mayor or the National Guard kind of put a seize on people trying to come help, but we're cops. We're like,
right.
Screw you. We're coming to help.
Coming, yeah.
We're going to get our brothers out. And we get to the first precinct, and it's like out of a movie. Guys like, all right, where's your stuff at? This is the block you guys are going to go work. You two are going to be on foot patrol. You two. I said, oh, sir. I said, we're from Philly. They're going to swear us in real quick. He goes, where's your stuff at? Your uniforms? We will be fired if we do that. We came to help at Ground Zero. We can't patrol, which I wish I would have brought my shit, because I would have went and patrolled New York.
Yeah. That would have been great. Yeah.
So he throws us in a van, man, and these two guys, New York cops, were cracking us up. We're flying down to Ground Zero. We're going down one of the busiest streets the wrong way.
Yeah.
It was like a New York taxi cab.
Don't matter.
I mean, we're laughing, but it's a tragic event. But this guy has us cracking up, and we're scared half to death because he's flying down there. So we get to Ground Zero.
You had an experience of a New York cop.
Oh, yeah, New York cop, man. They were great. The firefighters
they're good people.
Were great.
Yeah.
And, they drop us off. They say, you got to walk in, go see this cop. They'll send you to where you got to go. And just the feeling that the public gave us, because, we had our badges,
right.
People just started clapping, coming up. I didn't deserve it. I didn't, please stop.
You were there.
But they were very appreciative.
Yeah.
And, we have to go down to the subway for whatever reason. We go down to the subway, and we got to hop on the subway somewhere else to hop to the other side. And they brought the academy out of the NYPD.
Yeah, I heard.
There's an academy cop down there.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me. He goes, I need help. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, there's luggage over there that an Arab guy just left. Everyone's telling me. I said, oh, shit. What do I do? He pulls his cell phone. I said, no. Do not call on your cell phone. I said, there's a pay phone. Go call your commander. I said, because I'm not going to tell you to open up that bag.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you to shut down a subway. So he's like, really? I said, go call. So he has his quarter. It's still a quarter in. He calls, and I'm halfway. I'm by the steps, and I hear him go, yeah, but it was a Muslim guy. It's luggage. What? You can't really open it. Okay. And he looks at me and goes, he wants me to open it. I said, go open it. And he goes, where are you going? I said, I'm going upstairs, dude. He opened. I hollered down, you good? He goes, yeah, it's just closed. I said, all right, man, have a good day. Be safe.
Go open it.
And yeah.
That's what they thought of the
story.
kid. That's what they thought of the kid. Oh, my God.
True story. The look I watched him on his phone, and he just went from like glad to be there and help to absolutely terrified.
Oh, my God, what I signed up for.
Terrified.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's a good experience.
Yeah. Well, so then we get to Ground Zero, man, and it was just it's hard to describe. The buildings, smoke billowing, buildings everywhere. We got these respirators on, and this ESU guy, which is emergency responses from New York, walks up to us and goes, take that shit off, kid. He goes, I've been in this job for a long time, emergency services. Everything we're breathing here is going to kill us. We're all going to get cancer and die. None of these gas masks, we need, he goes, not even MOP level 4 is going to save anybody. He goes, so take it off.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I said, I'll keep it on.
I'll keep it on.
So
I'm good. I'm good.
But I was only there for a day, and boy, he was right, man. They all got cancer. Kids are dying. The death toll is still rising. But yeah, I mean, we were there for a day, and it was just surreal. We tried to help. He got on a like a chain gang and brought down some body parts, and it was just
I mean,
we spent most of the day trying to help.
Yeah, but you were there.
Yeah, and they were given us hotel rooms to stay at if we wanted to come help some more. But
Yeah.
you know, we had work. We had to get back. We would have got fired if we stayed up there. I wish I would have stayed up there a little longer and helped,
Yeah.
but it was surreal, man.
You did the initial thing that any cop would do: want to get involved, want to help, and that's
Yeah.
really, you know,
When it happened, we wanted to drive up there in our cop car and go help, but we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't send a
They did.
contingency.
They did. So, you know, Tim was scorned lover. He didn't want anyone going up there.
Right.
And he screwed me personally. On top of that, I lost a lot of respect from just from that because it's our brothers.
Right.
They should have sent a whole shitload of us up right
course.
away. Volunteers,
Yeah.
go up, patrol the
You're
streets.
on the job. We got
He
you
sent up
covered.
some cadaver dogs, I believe some bomb techs, and you know there was a little contingent of Philly police that went up there, but not what he should have. But I get it. You know, we have a major city ourselves that we have to be ready for.
I guess
I
you
get
know,
both of it. I get both sides of it,
Yeah.
but you know,
his
I
initial
also,
reaction was political rather than
Yeah. Well, I did-
humanitarian.
I was in the police academy. Well, I just got out of police academy, and I have a couple months in my district, and I get called down internal affairs. I'm like, what the hell did I do? I'm so brand new. I'm trying to think like, I'm 20. I said, man, I've been going out drinking, using my badge, and getting bars. I'm like, am I going to get fired? I'm like, fuck.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
That's
I guess I'm not a good cop
Yeah,
anymore.
my
That's
badge.
about as dirty.
Yeah,
I
your
badge my
badge,
way into
there you
bars. And they end up pulling a bunch of young-looking cops out because we had the Republican National Convention coming up in the year 2000, and we, you know, put our badges and guns away, and I got to a separate unit, and I was a protest, dirty precursor to Antifa for a few months. So I joined their group, hung out with them, and when the RNC came around, they couldn't figure out why anything they were doing was working. The police were always there, cut off. You know, I was with the main group, making plans with them, me and my other guys. And it's funny, one of the girls with us, Sue Mascaro, hey Sue Massaro, she was actually on some dirty protester newspaper they have as like the ideal protester. It's an undercover cop.
Oh,
Yeah, she was on there as the ideal
Oh,
protester.
so you guys were like the January 6th people, basically, that stirred up that whole crowd.
No, I didn't start up.
Yeah.
Opposite. We were the good guys.
Yeah, but you were
So
in the-
wherever they went, we related to headquarters and
Okay,
you
all
know,
right.
they moved
I
our-
get it.
yeah,
So
our-
you weren't there to encourage the protesters.
Yes.
To cause a problem.
No,
where they
we
had to
actually
shut
were-
down the country.
That's when we did real police work back
Right,
then. You know, we're
right.
actually we weren't
You
going.
infiltrated, and then you became.
No, I'm not allowed to use that word infiltrate.
No?
I've been warned. I did not infiltrate.
And
I
the
was just
reason,
dressed up as a protester. Legal reasons. Which I do not
well,
understand.
they infiltrate the mob, don't they? They're allowed.
Yeah.
They're allowed to do that.
That's the feds. Feds can do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Timony, so we did all that, and they brought us in this room, and everyone's, it was like out of a movie. That's the Secret Service, there's the CIA, there goes this group, they're all on the laptops, it's like the central hub for the entire RNC. There's
Right.
everything you relate to us, this is the command center, everyone's clapping, we felt like heroes, great. And normally, even though we had no time on, when that happens at the police department, they give you, okay, kid,
What do you
write
need?
down
What's-
your wish list.
One
Where do you wanna
assignment.
go?
What assignment
Yeah.
do you want?
I mean,
Sure.
this is great.
Give me harbor. Give me
I want
airplane.
Organized crime, man. This
Yeah.
is great. I'm in plain clothes. I don't want to go back to patrol.
This is great.
real police work.
I love this. Yeah.
Timony flipped out. Who do these guys think they are? First time, it's always me, dude. I'm always the first. First time, like the history of Philly Police Department. They're going to the 12th, every one of them. So now our captain for a special unit had to fight just to get us back to where we came from. And they're like, we're sorry, this has never happened. Normally you guys go. It's like, well, that's usual for me.
You're always getting the raw end.
Yeah, me raining cat, I'll get hit with a dog.
Yeah.
Story of my life. And then I almost get I was going to the McLaughlin group for trainings, and Northampton Township wanted to hire me to put me in school, like, because I was young looking.
Yeah. They want you to
Skinny,
sit,
full head of hair.
They want you to sit in the classroom
It's
and
better
buy
off that-
dope from the kids.
Better off that didn't happen.
Yeah, because
Way better off.
those 17, 18-year-olds.
Drinking. I'm 20 years old, drinking in high school. I would have.
You would have
Not
been
a
a
good
little
idea.
problematic. What do we call problematic?
Yeah, I would have did some dumb shit and got
Yeah,
arrested.
probably. You were one of the teachers or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's my 9/11.
Yeah, 9/11 for me
story.
was, as I said, and then so my family, and you know, but not, the audience may or may not know, they're mostly firemen and police, and one of my brothers was there on the pile when George Bush was there, and
Really?
he says, "I'll get they'll hear from me, or they'll hear from us soon." And in the background, you hear, "Yeah!" Well, that was my brother. Okay, we know his voice. He was on the pile about 15 feet away from the cameras. And then my other brother was so it's sort of good and bad. He was promoted to sergeant like a week after 9/11 because they lost a bunch of guys. And they needed supervisors.
Right.
So he was passed over twice because of me, and then eventually they promoted him after 9/11. Giuliani promoted him with that shit-eating grin on his face because Giuliani knew he was my brother.
Right.
But at this point they needed him for a minute. And,
it was up there. You just reminded me. Just walking around, it's heartbreaking. They had pictures up. Loved ones put, please, if you find this person. It's 3 days later.
Yeah, it's all over.
They're not missing. We know where they're at.
They're disintegrated.
And I believe we're at the 11th precinct, maybe, or the 11th ESU unit. The only female officer, Moira Smith, the only female cop killed, and met her partner that day, and it was just killing me. 3 days later, begging us to go with him to Ground Zero to help find her. I know she's still alive. Come, please help us. Come on, let's go down, like begging us. And it's just like, yeah, we're going to help. Yeah, we'll find her. It was heartbreaking. I think about that a lot, and just, I don't know if that was her husband or they said it was her partner. I don't know. It was terrible. I gave him a hug and just said, we'll do our best. We're going down there now. We're looking for her. And he just walked around and just looked at all those flyers up against on that church wall of all the people. 2,996 people died that day, and
almost 4,000 since, right?
Yeah, almost 4,000 with all the cancers going on. It's just awful.
The thing that I try to look at today is the lives that have been touched by it then, by the whole experience, and how people have come to heal in some ways. Like for me, I'll put on the 9/11 when they start saying the names and stuff.
I can't watch it.
Trip.
I can't.
It tears me apart, but I think it's part of what I need for me to be able to feel connected. I mean, I sit there, I cry for an hour, maybe two. Yeah, but so it's cathartic for me because I wasn't able to partake in it. And so one of the things that we'll get into, I don't want to, we're running along here. I used to do the same thing when I was a bad cop. I would read the paper by myself. And usually, because back then it was always, every couple of weeks a cop was shot or killed back then. And I may be exaggerating, maybe once a month, because, really, that's still a lot. I mean, one's too many. And I would sit there with the newspaper in my hand and just fucking bawl my eyes out, with no one around, with the door closed, sitting on the toilet, whatever. Just knowing that inside that you're wrong and the pain that it causes you to still go on knowing you're wrong and still not turning away. It was so hard. You don't need to feel sorry.
Right.
But it was very
that evil.
It was bad.
Wickedness, man.
It was bad, man. And
the drugs, the money,
everything.
the lifestyle.
That whole lifestyle was toxic and destroyed everything around me, even though I didn't see it. But today I can see it like that when somebody else. Is that
Yeah, that's experience.
Yeah.
Experience what comes from bad judgment. Right?
And turning away from it. Yeah. But here we are.
A good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment.
Bad judgment. Yeah. So here we are, 9/11, on the eve of it. Let's just say for the
remembering
purposes, and
remembering all we lost.
Yeah, and we're you know what, we're in a tragic situation in front of us right now. You know that
We're losing our country.
Yeah.
And people say September 12th. I would love to get back to that. They love law enforcement. If people realize the interactions across this country every day, law enforcement is not the problem.
No,
it's not the problem.
No,
and
there's bad apples in every group. Let's be honest.
We need. Not everybody's a mic'd out.
Yeah.
And in this day, it's few and far between.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Thank God.
Yes.
So we do.
The bad part of me.
Yeah, we are looking back and just want to honor the men and women lost that day, and everyone lost since, and everyone whose lives have been turned around in these 20-year wars. The terrible and tragic exit from a coward in chief and Kamala Harris, who the last one in the room and was very happy with the result of leaving Afghanistan.
Yeah.
It's been terrible. Something needs to change. The country needs to be fixed. And we do need to go back to September 12th. And everyone needs to look at themselves and realize what's going on here.
Yeah. On a side note, and as addressing the issue of 9/11, I like to point people to what's going on in Europe today and have them look at if they want us to be like what's going on in the UK right now, what's going on all throughout Europe.
First Amendment issues, people are getting arrested.
And the overtaking of these cities that were once proud, let's just say Christian and Catholic and the Protestant cities are now being taken over by I don't call them caliphates, but
It's radicals. That's
radicals.
the issue. It's-
Because there's a lot of good people in. Listen, there's a lot of good people in the Muslim. My children are my grandchildren are Muslim. They're not growing up with the hatred towards. Why are they leaving these countries and coming to Christian countries and bringing hatred to it? I don't get it.
the caliphate. That's the whole world supposed to be changed. But neither here nor there. That's not for today.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little emotional about it because the guys and girls and people that died and have gone to war.
We're on the doorstep of World War III with Russia. I mean, it's just
They've all gone to war as a result of the actions of 9/11.
not to be where we're at today, and yet
That's the point.
that's where we are today.
And that's where we are.
Yep.
So, sorry to digress there for a minute.
Right. So, any questions, concerns, you can give us an email. Have your own 9/11 stories, please share.
Yeah.
Go
great.
to our Facebook group, Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Peace.
This episode is sponsored by AR Law, PA State Rep Martina White, Biondo Creative, and Pops McCann Whiskey.